They felt the alleged pressure he was applying, and he subsequently became a known face among his enemies. And it wasn't without vengeance. They were coming back and gunning for him. KC would survive being shot on multiple occasions, all before the age of 18. By the time he turned 19,
Yo, could you imagine having to go through all of that before you even turn 18? Like, you getting popped at? What? Nah. I would have rather the football, I mean? Put me on the field. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Nah.
gained leadership status within his gang and would teach his younger homies how to dribble. In 2022, a video circulated of KC leading his pack through the Slauson squad meet.
Shout out to the lads. Shout out to the lad. You clicked the title, you read the page, so I'ma just get to the point. It says he did so much damage. The Crips and Hoovers had a celebration when he was unalived. The story of KC. Now, shout out the Hood War Stories. Shout out Hood War Stories. Now, I notice when I'm doing my hood vlogs and just you know how I grew up, what I was around, what I seen. I'm noticing like the younger generation, it's like, and even like the hood vlogs when I'm interviewing the big homies, the OGs, the first thing they say is, yo, you can't tell these youngins nothing. Like, what is like not even where is the disconnect with the younger and the older generation? You think the younger generation feel like the old heads don't know what they talking about? I mean, 9 times out of 10 they're going based on experiences. You young niggas don't want to do no jail time. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to do jail time. Nobody wants to do jail time. So once y'all get that through y'all head, maybe the world will be a better place. I don't know, man. Thoughts and prayers to this young man. Shout out to Hood War Stories. Let's get into it. Subscribe for the vibe. Let's go. And yo, going forward, this is gonna be how reaction videos are gonna be. Like, I might go back, switch it up every now and again with the regular way, but I think I like this way. Y'all drop a comment, tell me what you think.
KC. Deshaun Barley was born discussing the life of KC. Deshaun Barley was born on November 14, 2002, in Los Angeles, California, to a loving mother and father. He spent a good portion of his childhood in Rosamond, which is located above Lancaster in the Antelope Valley. He'd be back and forth between the AV and LA when he wanted to spend time with his dad. Large, loving, and close-knit would be words used to describe his family dynamic. Some would say he was a mischievous child. Growing up, he enjoyed playing youth football. He naturally had a lot of energy, which translated to him excelling on the field at school. He wound up getting sucked in.
Yo, I never understood that. Like, look, he had they said he had good energy. He was good at football. Like, how come he didn't just say, yo, on some real-ish? My bad, I got a notification. Like, on some real-ish, I just want to focus on football, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what was more appealing with the other life rather than the football players get millions? They don't gotta, yo, drop a comment, yo.
Into his environment and got put on the Six Deuce Brims. The Harvard Park Brims are a black gang located on the west side of South Central Los Angeles, stretching from Slauson to Gage, between Western and Hoover. They started as the LA Brims and were known as the ones who went up against the Crips back in the early days of gangbanging. The Brims aren't the largest hood, but they are fearless, and the Six Deuces are primarily responsible for keeping the Brim name alive today. Over a short amount of time, KC would gain the rep as a top-level member from the set. He earned his stripes by allegedly
Shout out to the Brims, man. Get at my Nork vlog I did. We was definitely speaking to a Brim member, man. Shout out to all the members, man, because the OGs, I learned so much from them, for real, for real. Like, they got that knowledge. Not every member is a bad person. Don't let some of these documentaries be a little extreme. Some of them, because it's facts, but it have you thinking like all members are bad. Nah, bro, that's not true. That's not true. Like, think about Nipsey Hussle, you feel me? Like, real talk.
Shooting up the Hoovers and Menlos on a regular basis. They felt the alleged pressure he was applying, and he subsequently became a known face among his enemies. And it wasn't without vengeance. They were coming back and gunning for him. KC would survive being shot on multiple occasions, all before the age of 18. By the time he turned 19,
Yo, could you imagine having to go through all of that before you even turn 18? Like, you getting popped at? What? Nah. I would have rather the football, I mean? Put me on the field. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Nah.
gained leadership status within his gang and would teach his younger homies how to dribble. In 2022, a video circulated of KC leading his pack through the Slauson squad meet, showing his position as a front runner while the group follows his lead. While the Slauson squad meet is technically located in the Brim's boundaries, it's frequented by many gang members from various gangs in the city on a daily basis, thus making it tricky and a potential point of conflict. Things were heating up in 2022 and there was a lot of back and forth between the Brims and the Hoovers. Out of all of the brims, the Six Deuces have been the main ones who have been actively and consistently beefed with the Hoovers. In past years, the Six Deuce brims have pushed the 5'9" Hoovers off Vermont, narrowing the 5'9's territory even further, cornering them off up against the freeway. Some have said that KC let his new status get to his head. He began to pop it heavy on social media at the 6-0s, 7-4 and 8-tray Hoovers, and the Menlos, dissing them every chance he got. He taunted his deceased enemies various times. On the Six Deuces Brim's Hood Day, KC's customized LOTTO written on it. LOTTO was a love member from the Menlos.
Yo, what? You put it on on your clothes? Like, that's insane. Like, what?
And what Casey said, "Go pick that guy up," that's who he was referring to. The disrespect was heavy, and his enemies were honing in on him. One night, the Hoovers came to Harvard Park allegedly trying to kill him, and were unsuccessful, but the bullet nearly grazed his eye. KC was doing a lot on the internet, but he wasn't hiding behind a phone screen. KC would lead the charge and have his young homies posted on Vermont in broad day, and would always make himself visible. At this point, KC was a trophy, and there were a few hoods that were allegedly bloodthirsty to collect. On April 13th, 2022, at about 7:35 p.m., KC was at the AutoZone on Florence and Normandy. He was allegedly followed out of the store, and when he was settling in his vehicle, a black suspect ran up and shot him multiple times. Witnesses then seen the black male get into a black sedan and speed away. KC was transported to the hospital, where he later died. He was only 19 years of age.
Yo, it's like you think about like the war in Chicago. It's like they be 14, 15, then they be 10, 11. It's like that shit, it just is heartbreaking. Cause you think about how you were at that age. It's like, yo, I was having fun at 19. I was exploring. And it's just like, damn, I wish that they just chose a different path. And I get it, bro. I do. Sometimes that's literally that's all they know. That's what they're born into. They walk out they door, you gotta pick a side. And that's where the unfortunate part comes in.
Another shooting, this one in South LA.
And Des Michaud is live over the scene now in Sky 9. Des?
Pat and Juan, we are at the corner of Florence and Normandy in the parking lot of this AutoZone. That's where the shooting took place. LAPD says that someone came along and shot the victim in this car right here. Looks like a newer BMW, and the victim was shot multiple times, transported to the hospital now in unknown condition, and the suspect got away, fled in a black sedan. Unclear the description, further description of the vehicle or which direction they went, but LAPD investigating this, looking for any other evidence that they can find.
After his murder, the Hoovers and Crips had a field day on Instagram. Treyway from the 8-tray Hoovers took the liberty to post several stories mocking his death. The Menlos had their satisfaction, considering KC would diss their fallen homie on numerous occasions.
Thoughts and prayers, yo. This shit is so sad, man.
The Rolling 30s even joined in on the festivities, with several members posting about KC. And although the murder occurred in 8-tray gangster territory, word spread in the city that allegedly the Hoovers or Menlos were behind the murder. At the funeral, KC's female acquaintance showed up, and it caused a flare-up. She was from the 107 Hoovers, who are enemies to the Brims. She showed up wearing red either as a disguise or respect for KC. Either way, she was spotted, and the whispering began. The Brims were allegedly sliding heavy for KC, and allegedly there was get back that same night. KC will be remembered as a main factor for the.
So in Cali, that get back be same day. Like, not even. That shit be within an hour. Like, that shit is crazy, man. Some gotta give.
Six Deuce Brims, and was someone that his younger homies looked up to. He was also a loving family member, and leaves behind many relatives. His name is still being honored to this day.
May he rest in peace, yo. Y'all subscribe for the vibe. I'm out.